everyone, it's Raina. So I just wanted to say before I start this reading that I live by the train. And right when I was starting this reading with you, the train was going by. So I decided to turn off the recording, and I was looking out the window and I was looking at the train going by. And it gave me this feeling of reassurance that life is continuing to go on, that goods are continuing to be shipped across the country, and that everything hasn't come to a standstill. And I really believe so strongly in that idea. And so, what was normally very irritating turned out to be something reassuring. And I said, you know what, I'm just going to allow the train to go on while I'm doing this recording, but it went by. So I decided to just do it all over again. So anyway, I hope that, wherever you are, even outside the United States, just all across the world, that you have been able to deal with the current reality as best you can. And we'll see what the cards say here. Okay. It's funny because I've been getting this theme. I got this theme for another sign. Another thing that I want to just say before I continue, because I got somebody making a comment, is obviously I'm one person, I'm one interpretation. I could see things differently, but I just see things in the moment, and that's what I am reacting to. Doesn't mean that it's true for you, and I just don't think that people should take tarot readings on YouTube too seriously. If it really resonates with you and it seems like the message is meant for you, that's awesome. But in general, these are, to me, meant more for food for thought than literal interpretation of events in your life. So anyway, the heart of the matter is the Judgment card, and this to me is kind of like the culmination of events that leads to your kind of, how can I put it, assessment of what has happened. So for instance, depending on how something turns out in your life, the Judgment card can indicate it's like cause and effect. So if it's something great, you're like, wow, I really did it. I really succeeded, and it was all because of my hard work. Or, something unwanted. Wow, I really dropped the ball. The Judgment card is connected to Pluto, which is connected to karma, but karma is connected to cause and effect rather than punishment. That's why people say good karma sometimes, because the word karma means action and doesn't really imply anything particular, in terms of whether it's a good outcome or a negative outcome. It's just what it is. And so sometimes this can be a literal judgment, a legal judgment, and it's in the upright position, so I would say that it would probably be favorable. But I don't always see it as obviously as something legal, but it could be like a finding. Like, for instance, let's say that this was a workplace matter where, you were at odds with somebody else and there was arbitration or whatever they call it, and you were determined to be the, I don't know, the victor or the one who was in the right. You know, I look at the past position, which does suggest something with the workplace, because this is the Eight of Pentacles, which deals with training, hard work, you know, diligence, attention to detail, to your craft. So somebody who's doing a good job. This is not in the reversed position either. So it's someone who's actually doing what was required of them, maybe even doing more. But for some reason, were you still not getting what you were supposed to get? So you might have had a judgment in your favor. Excuse me. The higher message, the bigger picture, is the Knight of Pentacles. This card is connected to Taurus and what Taurus represents in terms of habits, which is like the worker bee, the person that every day comes in and is very like, I was going to say methodical, but I mean just, you know, consistent in their habits and just plugged into, you know, has a strong work ethic. So as the bigger picture, it's saying that the reason that you have come out on top is because, or that you have been seen as being in the right, is because of that work ethic. That it's, you know, because the Eight of Pentacles to me is kind of similar in that sense, in a way. Somebody very diligent, trying to do the best job that they can. And like I said, the Judgment card may not be a legal judgment. As a matter of fact, it could even be like a promotion that you get. And the reason that it is coming up for you is maybe somebody is unhappy that you got the promotion and it made you feel guilty. Now, I just realized I'm reaching over here. I'm going to have to plug in, I have very little juice with my camera. So if you'll just bear with me for 1 second. And now this thing goes, okay. Okay, I think I should be okay. Okay, so that's another possibility, because I don't necessarily see that it's something where you didn't get a promotion. It could be that the Judgment card is saying you got what you got, something good, because of your own efforts, and that you have nothing to feel guilty about. If somebody's giving you a hard time, it's because they can't accept responsibility for their own lack of diligence the way that you had. And I think this is fairly common, you know, in workplaces where one person is really kicking butt and another person is not, and they have the nerve to be upset that somebody else is getting ahead of them. Maybe they have been there longer, and that could be it too, where they've been there longer, so they just assume that they're supposed to get ahead. What crosses you is the Five of Wands, and this is what I was saying before, that I've had this similar theme of where it's like either the person wins some kind of dispute that has, you know, in the workplace that has to do with fairness, like getting a promotion, and or getting like a raise, and yet even if they win, they still have to deal with the unpleasant atmosphere. This can also just be in general, regardless of any kind of thing. It's like the Five of Wands is a card of competition, and you know, sometimes this card can be friendly competition where everybody is just trying to do their best, but this is like toxic competition. So it's saying that even if you succeed, you may be in an environment that is not necessarily healthy. Excuse me. This is in the morning, so that's why I haven't been exercising my vocal cords yet. What's coming in is represented by the Eight of Cups, and this is like the last two cards I got suggest leaving. This is a card of, wanting emotional fulfillment and leaving. It has like sometimes a spiritual connotation, like a spiritual quest or something like that. And, it suggests looking for greater meaning in life. And, Cancer is a sensitive sign. Cups are connected to the water signs. This is, this, like, even in a personal relationship, this could suggest, the Judgment card could suggest rebirth. So, yeah, I mean, it's possible that you have been either a workaholic or somebody trying to fix a relationship and coming up against a lot of opposition, a lot of drama, and deciding that you don't need that in your life. And the outcome is the Seven of Swords. It's kind of like slinking off in a very discreet sort of way. Definitely with this card, I think of workplace matters because, when you're dealing with going from one company to another, there's always that weird thing of like, are they going to contact my current employer and talk to them, and I haven't told my current employer I'm going to leave, and that's going to be really weird. That's going to be very awkward, and how is my current employer going to take it? So that kind of dynamic. It can also be that you just decide to go off on your own. You just have that need because there's just too much going on in your current environment. Even in like personal relationships, you may be going through something personal, Cancer, that makes it so that you realize you don't have to try so hard, or you shouldn't have to in a relationship. You shouldn't have to compete for somebody's affections. And so you just say, hey, you may feel strong enough to be by yourself and to do your own thing and not to require somebody else to validate you. And so, that's a possibility as well. Okay, that's what I have for you, Cancer. I hope that you enjoyed this. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.